Hey guys, here I am, your favorite narrator, bringing another new story to the channel, and this time we'll bring the story of Beerus' father. That's right, even our beloved God of Destruction has a father. But did you know that he was the first God of Destruction in Universe 7? No, right? So let me tell you everything and why he is no longer the God of Destruction. Well, having said that, I hope you leave a lot of likes and comment if you want the continuation of the story. With all that done, grab your popcorn and Coke and let's see this amazing story. Millennia ago, there was the first God of Destruction who was among us, and his name was Beerus. He was more powerful than all the gods of destruction in any universe. His fame was known by the entire multiverse. The one who could absorb the life energy of the planet just by opening his mouth and sucking everything he could. Old Beerus had a vast knowledge of magic and used it to his advantage when punishing the planets. Once he decided to take a rest of 10,000 years on his home planet called Cornicida. In that time of rest, he met the one who, for some, would be his wife. But for Beerus, the woman he had just met would be the one who would generate the worthy heir. A few years together with his wife, they produce a son, little Beerus. After Beerus grows up and becomes a kind of teenager, Beerus abandons him and his wife to continue his destiny of being the god of destruction of Universe 7. Beerus then grew up with his mother throughout his adolescence until one day his father returned. The little Beerus was hoping that his father would give up on becoming the god of destruction, but unfortunately that wasn't the reason for Beerus' visit. Beerus, alongside Whis, returned to his planet after a long time and announced the destruction of his own home planet. The only survivor of that horrific day in the life of Beerus had been himself. Beerus asked Whis to take Beerus to another planet where he would not be destroyed for a while. Beerus then realized that his father had not saved him because he liked him, but because the boy would be useful to him in the future. After the destruction of his home planet, the god Beerus had mysteriously disappeared. No one but Whis knew what had happened to him, and with that Whis trained new gods of destruction until he reached the current god, Beerus. Beerus was very sorry for the loss of his planet and the people, and that made Beerus carry a hatred that made him destroy the planets he saw in front of him. But all he really wanted to do was to take revenge on his father for what he did to his mother. One of the reasons Beerus didn't destroy the land is because of the love they had for each other, something his father never knew. Beerus and Whis never commented on Beerus, but they knew what each one thought of Beerus, and that was enough, and that's why they never talked about Beerus' father, because earlier and later they would meet. On Earth in current times, the Z Warriors were having a small party among themselves to celebrate Father's Day. Beerus was not happy, and was only there because he was invited. He could not refuse that party. Goku, Krillin, and Vegeta had received some gifts from their children and wives for being amazing parents. Piccolo watched the party from afar until Gohan came up to him with a present for him who had been such a good father, and that moved the Namekian a lot. Piccolo then said, "Thank you, Gohan. I'm glad you have this affection for me. I'm eternally grateful for that," Piccolo said with a big smile. Gohan then says, "No need to thank you. You're amazing," said Gohan, hugging Piccolo. Everyone was cheering merrily until Goku and Vegeta noticed that Beerus and Whis were acting weirder than usual, and they decided to see what it could be. As Goku approached, he said, "Come eat something that Chi-Chi prepared. You look terrible," said Goku, smiling, trying to cheer up Beerus. Beerus growls and says, "I'm just waiting for this party to end so I can get out of here as fast as I can, so I don't have to see that snotty face of yours. Something else you treat each other like it's a big deal to be a father or have a child," said Beerus, quite grumpy and irritated, leaving Goku scared. Whis comments, "Father's Day doesn't make much difference to me. My dad and brothers don't see each other often, but I can assure you that we are forever grateful to him," said Whis, making Beerus even angrier. The god of destruction then says, "Do you say that about all your brothers, even those who—" Before Beerus could finish his speech, Whis interrupts him. After Whis interrupts Beerus, he says, "Yes, sir, Beerus. All my brothers without exception," Whis calmly said. Vegeta steps in front of Goku and says, "Is that grumpy mood of yours the fact that your father isn't here with you?" asked Vegeta, playing with Beerus' face. An angry Beerus says, "You don't know anything about my father," Beerus exclaims. Goku then asks curiously, "That's true. I had never thought about that. Who was your father, Sir Beerus?" questioned Goku intriguingly. Beerus dryly responds, "My father was a nobody, that's all," said Beerus, turning his face. Vegeta laughs and says, "Are you angry because your father was a nobody?" said Vegeta, looking at Beerus in the eyes. Beerus gets up in a rage and raises his ki, but Whis holds him back and says, "Calm down, Mr. Beerus. Sit down," Whis said while Beerus sat down again. Whis goes on to say, "Mr. Beerus' father was the first god of destruction of Universe 7, and without a doubt, he was the best man I ever trained in my entire existence," said Whis, leaving Goku and Vegeta quite impressed until Beerus starts to get angry. Beerus, containing all his anger, says, "Enough, Whis. That was enough," said Beerus, who was almost at his limit regarding that conversation. Goku very excitedly and curiously says, "Mr. Beerus, this is amazing. Where is your father now? What happened to him?" questioned Goku. Vegeta senses that something bad could happen and says, "Kakarot, I don't think we should go on talking about this. The situation could get worse," said Vegeta very nervously. Whis then laughs and says, "The situation has already gotten worse," Whis said while seeing Beerus raise all his hatred to the maximum. Beerus then, not holding up, gets up and shouts, "My father disappeared millennia ago. He was complete garbage. He killed my mother and my entire planet. That's why I hate this pathetic human day," said Beerus, completely irritated, making Goku and Vegeta nervous. Whis then calmly says, "Your father is not gone, Mr. Beerus. You don't know the truth about your father, so please don't say nonsense. You never knew the truth about your father because you let your ignorance blind your eyes, and so you didn't go after him. I could have helped if I wanted to," Whis said, staring at Beerus. Vegeta and Goku think at the same time, "This is going to be a problem," thought the Saiyajin, preparing for the worst when seeing the state in which the situation was. Goku then calmed the situation down by saying, "Alright guys, we understand that Mr. Beerus doesn't want to talk about his father, right?" said Goku very nervous, looking at Whis and Beerus. Beerus then lowers his head and smiles. Then he laughs and says, "You're wrong, Son Goku. I want to know about my father more than anyone else." "Come on, Whis, open your beak. Tell him everything he knows," ordered Beerus. Vegeta, worried about what could happen if Beerus gets angry, says, "I don't think that's a good idea. You guys should say that somewhere else," suggested Vegeta, who is completely ignored by both. Whis then calmly says, "Alright, Mr. Beerus, if that's what you want. You'll know your father's origin here and now," Whis said, staring at Beerus, who was slightly anxious to hear what Whis would say. Well guys, today's video ends here. Are you enjoying this new story? What is the real reason for Beermer's disappearance? Was the ancient god of destruction really that evil, or was he hiding it for some reason? Well, we can only find out in the next episode because this one ends here. If you're enjoying videos like this and you want to help the channel continue, please like the video and also your feedback on what's going on in the story. Don't forget to share with your friends who like Dragon Ball. That's it, fam. Until next time, see ya.